There we are. All right. So hello, everybody. Welcome again to Indiana University Northwest Campus in Gary, Indiana. And I am Francine Bergens, and we are starting our next series with the passion and purpose and authenticity. And I am so excited to welcome my first guest, Mr. Lester Young. Hey, Lester, how you doing today?
Peace and blessings to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for letting me be the first guest, and hopefully I can add
Yes.
value in the
Yes.
discussion today about this. So definitely, thank you.
I appreciate you so much. And so I wanted to bring a real life component as we're talking about entrepreneurship. We have presented you all with videos from passion to purpose to accounting, your business plan, and so many things. But all of these things are great. But what about those real life concepts? The fire, the passion, and those are the things that I'm going to be covering in this. We've talked about branding, so many things, and I wanted to get someone who has an awesome story, an awesome testimony about turning his passion into purpose, into a business, if you will. And that's what I want to touch on today. So, Mr. Young, thank you so much again, because I know you're getting so busy. And I remember meeting you, I want to say maybe a year ago.
Around there, I think it was before during that COVID thing.
Yeah, it's been, I know, over 12 months, and just you have truly evolved since the last time I've seen you. His organization, his business is called Path to Redemption. And so I'm going to start off with the questions, and then I'm just going to let you lead off into that. So my first question for you, and again, we're talking about business. Our audience are men, women, young, old, who are starting to write their business plan, who are thinking about starting businesses. And I want to talk about, is purpose and passion the same? So to you, to Mr. Young, is purpose and passion the same?
I think they tied in because for me, I'll speak for me with my purpose, it gives me that passion, that drive to keep going, right? So for me, everything that I do is driven with a purpose, and that experience is the fuel, which is the passion that pushes me every day to keep moving, to keep making impact, to continue to build my brand, continue to build my business. So I have a purpose, but I believe that you have to have a passion that pushes you to continue to promote and market and do all of the necessary intricate things, the small things you need to do to build your business.
Okay, so tell us about your purpose. So one of the things I talk about in all of the videos, and as we're teaching the audience, purpose is what you are created to do. So we always use a simple example of the car. The car is transportation. That is why it was created. It is a mode of transportation. It's going to get you somewhere, and it has different components. So Lester Young, as a business owner, an organization, what is your purpose and how does it tie into business?
My purpose comes from my lived experience, and that is being someone who was incarcerated at the age of 19 years old and served a total of 25 months. And in that time period, I discovered my purpose, and my purpose is to help men and women who are currently and formerly incarcerated turn their setbacks into comebacks by helping them change their mindset and their behavior choices to ultimately prepare them for a level of success during incarceration and after incarceration. So that's really where my purpose was born, out of me being sentenced to life in prison at 19 and
Wow.
finding that purpose through prayer and my faith. God showed me that I could turn my pain into a purpose by tapping into the experiences I had and using that to help other individuals turn their setbacks into comebacks by helping them change their mindset and behavior choices.
That's a lot. That's a whole mouthful, turning their setbacks into comebacks.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
No, you did, because that's what it is. Yeah.
So,
I said it's just a challenge, and when I talk about that's when my purpose is birth, because I was in prison. That is one of the major setbacks. And you think about the 2.5 million people in our society, that's a setback for people, right? Is that they're incarcerated, and now how do I turn this setback into a comeback? And it's about finding your purpose, using whatever you've experienced in life, tapping into that and using that to help empower other people. And for me, I believe that that's what, unfortunately, that road took me to incarceration. But because of the grace of God, he showed me in that pain, there's a purpose for your life. And I embraced that purpose.
Mm-hmm. And that's so good, because I always say that you have to look at what you love as passion, purpose, motivation, but you also have to look at what you hate, because those things you hate are also indicators of, what you are called to do, or that motivation and passion in business. But I also want to add now a third nugget is looking at the comebacks. Looking at the setbacks. A lot of times in business, we'll hear the term failures, or we messed up, but not realizing that it's still an opportunity to come back. Yeah, setback for a comeback. I'm trying to get your motto right.
Think about it is that most of the successful businesses, they had major setbacks. In the dark periods, when you're talking about automobile, there was a setback. There was a period of darkness where people thought that circumstances propelled them to think outside the box, right, to turn something into something, how could I create something? And for me, my business, being a person who was in prison from the age of 19 years old to 41 years old, that's a lot that took place. There's a lot of dark periods for me, a lot of setbacks, but in that setback, it didn't define the destination of the purpose, right? It didn't define that purpose. And I think that when people are thinking about business, they have to look at it from that perspective. Some of the things that many people want to go into may not necessarily be that thing. If you're just doing it for money, you may lose the desire. I can do this in my sleep. My purpose, what I love in my business, I can do this in my sleep, because it's not even work to me, right? Because I'm moved in purpose versus moving for the dollar. The dollar will come, the purpose make it more fulfilling. It's something that is satisfying to my spirit.
Exactly, and I love that. So I know you said that purpose and passion, they're intertwined. I totally agree and believe that as well. But let's talk to the audience about now that passion. How did you find your passion during this time, or did you find it afterwards? Because we have some business owners, I don't know, sometimes we think that there's this instant gratification, or there's this quick, it's going to come right now. My experience, for me, it wasn't quick at all. It wasn't. And I'm still right now today, as a business owner, every day still evolving. I'm still thinking about my message. I'm still thinking about, okay, I know my niche and my specialty, but at the same time, how do I fine tune it? How did you find that passion to make it work with your purpose?
I mean, hopefully your audience can feel this passion right now. I got a lot of passion when I talk about this, because this is what I love to do. It's like when I'm talking about how do I empower men and women in a system to think outside the box and to prepare them for life after prison. That's my life. Like I come into this space with a lived experience that is uniquely different than most people, right? That's what fueled me, because I know what it feels like to be in a system feeling trapped, right? So when I share my purpose and my passion, I'm speaking to the younger version of me. Like when I don't care what that audience is, I'm speaking to the 19-year-old Lester who really had this experience. So that's where that passion comes, because I'm trying to like motivate the younger Lester to see and to be able to open that window to say, hey, that setback does not define who you are. You define it by changing your thought process and your behavior choices. That's how it happens. So that's where a lot of my passion comes from. And it's so fulfilling for me. It's like it's an addiction in a good way, where I enjoy empowering people to see that you open that window and the possibility has no limitation of what you can do. And that's how you turn your setbacks into comebacks.
Now, when you were I'll say establishing path to redemption, did that purpose and passion come right away?
It took some time because I found Path of Redemption was founded inside of a prison, because again, I felt like the men who I was housed with inside of a prison, they were searching for redemption, but they didn't know how to find that path. So once again, through journaling and doing a lot of self introspection, I felt like, okay, this is what other people need. And that led me, as the more individuals I started speaking to, it started giving me the confidence, and that confidence turned into that passion. Now I'm like everywhere in the prison, a busybody in the prison, sharing this information. So it took a little time for me to step out with the passion, but the more I continue to try and continue to build, the passion and the confidence continue to grow. And now I hope that you can see how passionate I'm. It should be oozing out of me right now. I can sell this stuff right here.
Right. I get it. I get it, because it does. I tell people it's like you bleed it,
Yeah.
so I get that. So listen, guys, this is our first segment with Lester Young. We are talking about passion. We're talking about purpose. And my question posed today was, or is purpose and passion the same to Mr. Young? So we're going to come back. We want to say thank you again. So this is our first video, Indiana University Northwest Campus, School of Business and Economics, Small Business Academy. I'm Francine Bergens, and I want you guys to stay tuned and catch our next videos.